Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Eastman with the U.S. Census Bureau. Thanks so much for a few minutes of your time to explain what the census is, along with how it is safe, easy, and important for funding and representation. I've been working as a social scientist all my life, helping people make informed decisions with data. So I know how important the census is, and that's mostly why I took a little break from being a professor in academia so I can help count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. As we proceed throughout this presentation, all of the links I mentioned are available in the handout below the video. The U.S. Census Bureau is a scientific organization providing valid, reliable data about people, places, and our economy. And in spite of popular perceptions, we do not just show up every 10 years like a comet. Rather, the U.S. Census Bureau is very busy in between decennial counts with other projects. The American Community Survey used to be known as a census long form, but now it's a separate survey of almost 300,000 households done every month. The current population survey asks over 200 questions to 60,000 households every month about their jobs and economic position. Some of this information collected is used to calculate the monthly unemployment numbers that are reported the first Friday of every month. The American Housing Survey monitors real estate, new construction numbers, and home sales, and a lot of real estate sites rely on this data. And as part of our economic program, we also conduct a census of business and local governments every 5 years. With so many surveys ongoing all the time, you or somebody you know might already be participating in one. You may have also seen our address canvassers checking and updating our address list and maps last fall. If you ever have any questions about the legitimacy of a Census Bureau survey or employee, you can call 1-800-923-8282 or visit the website on your screen. Towards the very beginning of the U.S. Constitution, it says every decade we must count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. The first census was conducted in 1790, where Founding Father Thomas Jefferson, along with 650 U.S. Marshals on horseback, counted 3.9 million residents in 13 states. The last census in 2010 utilized 635,000 enumerators to count about 308 million people. This decennium, we plan on using about 500,000 enumerators and cutting-edge technology to count 330 million people in about 140 million households. The 2020 census is the largest peacetime operation conducted in the country, but in terms of protecting your sensitive information, the 2020 census will be undertaken with the care and caution you would expect during wartime. So the 2020 census is very safe, in addition to being very easy and important. Almost everything and anything is done with census statistics. As a professor, I use census information almost daily in both my research and my teaching. In the last few weeks of the COVID-19 crisis, I've seen public health research all over the media that utilizes census data. But for most of us, the most readily visible use of census data is to reapportion seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. We should also take note that the use of this data often filters down, as local leaders use it to draw local boundaries. But perhaps the most direct impact the census has on our daily lives is in determining the allocation of hundreds of billions of dollars in federal funding. On your screen, you can see a list of many programs, but this list is far from exhaustive, and it does not include offices and programs used by many seniors, including first responders, Medicare Part D, the Supportive Housing for the Elderly program, libraries and community centers, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, and the Senior Community Service Employment Program. We should also remember that a lot of private funding can be indirectly influenced by census data. I help with a lot of nonprofit grant writing as a professor, and even with private funding, most grant applications have a section where you speak to needs, and more often than not, we use census data to affirm a community's needs. Lastly, the 2020 census is very important for other research being done because it provides a benchmark of the population. There are a lot of great survey organizations doing a lot of great work in the United States, but it's only the census that counts everyone without error. I like to compare this idea to my Tupperware drawer. I get by for the most part guesstimating which bottom goes with which lid, but every so often I need to take everything out, match up the parts, and get a sense of what I lost, or what I might have picked up when friends and families passed along leftovers. The 2020 census kind of does the same thing for the nation statistically, making our estimates in between decennial counts more accurate. We protect private information if it's priceless, because in many ways it is. We only produce aggregate data, nothing personal. When I tell my students we are going to work with census information, they always want to look up their friends or famous people. I have to explain, that's not quite how it works. We're not the white pages. We only publish statistics or information on collections of people, not individuals. Title 13 of the U.S. Code provides the Census Bureau the authority to do our work while also protecting the work that we do. And while attorneys might use statistics to protect our community rights in courts, our personal information will never be personally used against us in a court or anywhere else. The personal information we give to the Census Bureau can never be subpoenaed. It's not subject to a Freedom of Information Act, and will never be leaked by a Census Bureau employee without very steep penalties. 5 years in prison plus a $250,000 fine. So if you happen to forget somebody's birthday or address, you'll need to find that information someplace else. The census is simple to complete through one of four means: on the internet, on the telephone, on paper, or a personal visit by a census taker. However, even before the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing, personal visits are what we hope to avoid by promoting self-response, which is not only less expensive, but less prone to error. We only ask for very basic information, including name, age, birthday, race, ethnicity, gender, how long you have lived your current residence, and your relationship to others in the household. We also ask for your phone number, just in case we need to contact you for quality control or assurance. You should also keep in mind what we do not ask, because that can be a red flag for fraudulent activity. We are not interested in your Social Security number. We do not ask for money, donations, or any of your financial numbers, and we do not do political polling. If anyone pretending to be from the Census Bureau is asking this type of sensitive information, please contact local law enforcement and us as soon as possible. The census is even easy for those who speak languages other than English. The census can be taken online or over the phone in 12 non-English languages, and this covers about 99% of the households in our country. These languages include Mandarin, Cantonese, Vietnamese, Korean, Russian, Arabic, Tagalog, Polish, French, Haitian Creole, Portuguese, and Japanese. Here is a list of the phone numbers you can now call to take the 2020 census in 13 different languages. But don't forget, you can also complete your 2020 census online. Also remember, the sooner you complete the 2020 census, the less likely you are to have an in-person visit by a census taker. The 2020 census offers support for the speakers of 59 other languages with guides and glossaries, including American Sign Language, as well as guides in Braille and large print. Simply click on the link on your screen to access these resources. Because of COVID-19, the 2020 census is adapting or delaying some operations in order to protect the health and safety of our staff and the public, while making sure we get the same population counted another way. We have asked Congress for a 120-day delay and are currently awaiting congressional approval for this new proposed schedule. For the most up-to-date information on our operations, follow the link on your screen. The United States Census Bureau is a scientific organization, so much of what we do is driven by data. For example, a lot of our outreach operations are guided by our Response Outreach Area Mapper, or ROAM system, which includes a color-coded map to identify places with populations who are unlikely to self-respond and thus might need more and more engaging outreach. The darker the color blue on the map, the lower the anticipated self-response rate to the 2020 census. As you can see elsewhere on the screen, the ROAM system also includes very detailed demographic information about the population in any given census tract. Just click on the map for a short video tutorial about how ROAM works. Are you curious about how many people in your community are responding to the 2020 census? You can stay up to date with this map of self-response rates from across the United States. Updated daily, this map displays the response rates for states, counties, cities, and census tracts all around the country. Click on the link on your screen to access this resource, or click on the map for a short video tutorial about how the SelfResponse Rate Mapper works. Are you looking for full or part-time flexible employment? Although most candidates have been selected, we are still taking applications via the top link on your screen. With the bottom link, you can see pay rates by state and county across the entire nation. Working for the census is a great way to make extra income while also supporting your community. I don't want to leave here today without mentioning the Census Bureau's Data Dissemination Program. This program was developed to help you understand and utilize the vast array of data we have available on our website. This is a free program, a service we provide to give back to our partners and communities. Our expert staff can customize a training workshop for you or your constituents. Trainings can be done in person or via webinar. Our staff are well versed in the data tools available on our website, including data.census.gov, Census Builder, My Congressional District, and others. We're very active on social media, so please feel free to browse the materials on our pages. Please do not forget to add us, like us, and retweet us. If you have any questions, you can contact either the Partnership or Data Dissemination Programs via the information on your screen. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to complete your 2020 census.